So, who killed
I
Gillid?
made my way into the observatory, and inside was a wizard whose voice I recognized.
Oh,
Satrap.
there he
I
is.
wasn't sure what he was doing, but it couldn't be good.
The stars are right! A bit further! Now! Left! Left a bit!
A golem was operating the cranks for the observatory's main telescope, and Satrap was calling out instructions. I guess he was looking for something.
Mr. Lewton, do come in. I've been expecting you.
You've been using your magic to spy on me?
No, I saw you through the telescope.
Mind telling me what you're doing?
Oh, the same as everyone else. Waiting for the end of all creation.
All creation?
Like everybody
Well,
is.
Nylon-Athatep might only destroy Ankh-Morpork to begin with, but I'm sure it will get around to destroying everything sooner or later. It's all just a matter of time.
So you're the leader of the dark sect of Nylon-Athatep, then?
Lewton, I am the dark sect. They would be nothing without me.
Grandiose
And you're a
there.
wizard?
The professor of astrology, as it happens. I acquired the job only recently, although it has been empty for a while. Mathom was interested in the post, but I was fortunate enough to dispose of him as part of the summoning ritual.
So there was some internal politics involved in that murder.
Oh, make no mistake, most of those 8 murders served another purpose. People don't become cultists because they want to help the gods out. They know that it's a good way to get what they want and to justify whatever unspeakable acts they want by blaming it on a god.
Carlotta
Remarkably
needed Regan
straightforward.
killed because he was blackmailing her, and Mundy had the sword. What about the merchant Gaiman?
He and Kondo never got on. For all I know, there were reasons that the other people were chosen as well. It's often the way of these things.
Kondo's dead. I killed him.
Well, that'll be one less thing for Nylon-Athatep to do when he gets here.
How many of the cultists were secretly in the dark sect?
Only myself and Kondo. But Foyd was easily manipulated to our ends as well. He rarely had any idea what was going on. We just used him because it suited our purposes to do so.
That's what we thought.
Foyd couldn't have told anyone what we were doing because he only barely understood anything that was going on around him.
What about Gelid? Did you kill him?
Yes, he had to be removed. He was still loyal to Anu, and he had outlived his usefulness.
So he was not.
What have you done with Carlotta?
As far as I know, she's still tending the wounds of that wretched excuse for a god.
You pulled the wool over her eyes, didn't you? Pretending to worship Anu.
The wool? I pulled the whole sheep.
Was Hirst somehow involved in your plans?
Hirst? Ha! Without Hirst, we'd have never got Monday staying in the Octarine Parrot. The trouble with trying to murder in a geometric shape is you're really quite restricted as to where you can work.
I suppose
So
that's
how
true.
come Hirst's name isn't on the list?
He's not a cultist, Lewton. He's just a greedy troll who thought helping us would get him the sword.
Instead, it's going to get him and everyone else killed.
I really think you should have let me say that. I mean, you say it in such a disappointing fashion. I can deliver lines like that with much greater dramatic effect.
You're a vain, arrogant, dangerous man, Satrap.
Thank you.
Where's the trapezohedron?
It's funny you should ask. I was just looking for it now. Once we have our hands on it, nothing will stop Nylon-Athatep. The whole of creation will be destroyed.
Don't you think that laugh is a little over the top?
Listen, Lewton. There are fewer perks than you might think to being what most people would consider an insane psychopath plotting the destruction of everything. I have always thought that a good dose of mad laughter was something I had earned the right to indulge in.
This whole plan is crazy, Satrap. No one in their right mind plots such mindless destruction on such a large scale. You need help.
I have all the help I need, Lewton. I have Nylonathotep.
It's not helping you. It wouldn't help anyone. It is totally evil.
Evil? No, I will not accept that. It is conditioned simply to survive, and it can survive only by dominating all other life. When all other life is suppressed, then we will have peace. Wars will end. It is a power not of evil, but of good.
Satrap, if you had created a spell that could destroy all forms of life, would sweep throughout the disk and leave nothing in its wake, would you allow its use?
It is an interesting conjecture.
But would you do it?
Yes. Yes. To hold in my hand a scroll that contained such power. To know that life, death on such a scale, was my choice. To know that the faintest of breaths speaking those words would end everything. Yes! Yes! I would do it. That power would set me up among the gods, and through Nylonathotep, I have that power!
You're deranged, Satrap. I thought Mooncalf was bad, but you take the honors. I can't allow this to continue. I have to stop you.
You cannot stop me now! I'm invincible!
Give it up, Satrap. It's over. I pursued Satrap up onto the roof. His robes were rank with the stench of Gelid's blood, and I couldn't control myself.
Oh, gosh.
The next thing I knew, Satrap's body was tumbling down the roof into a crumpled heap below.
Get down here! This isn't over! Don't turn away from me while I'm talking to you! Come back! This isn't over!
It is for you.
Oh, black spectre of the cold sleep of death. Leave me, your humble servant, so that I can witness the destruction I have wrought in thy name.
Wrought in thy name? You should get out more often, Satrap.
I live to serve you.
Really? Any good at making curry?
No. But I am causing death and destruction on a scale as yet unprecedented.
And you think that makes me happy? I'm not the god of death, you know. I'm just death. I'm just providing a service. There are times, you know, when I get really annoyed by you mortals.
Does that mean I'm going to be punished for all eternity?
If that's what you want.
Isn't there some way I can bargain with you?
Nothing springs to mind.
Surely someone has found a way to attempt to avoid the final curtain?
Well, people sometimes challenge me to a game.
Do they ever win?
No. But someone once challenged me to that one where you knock a little ball out of a hole. Flog, I think it was called.
Golf.
What sort of game is that?
A really stupid one to play against a person who spends every second working on his swing.
Can I play you at it?
If you like. Last time I got a birdie on the 18th. But it was its own fault for flying so low.
I'll do anything to save my life. Whatever you ask.
You're afraid of dying, aren't you?
I didn't think I would be. But I was wrong.
Here, take my hand. There's nothing to worry about. The hard part is over.
Why are you being so nice to me? I tried to destroy all of creation.
Well, nobody's perfect.
That was a very interesting character study, I have to say. So Satrap had some pretty definitive ideas about what he wanted, but they kind of changed a little bit. I mean, he was definitely deranged, so for part of it he wanted ultimate power. I mean, I think at the core he wanted to be someone who had power over life and death, but he couched it in this sort of, oh, I'm ending wars, it's a force for good kind of terminology. But Lewton saw that through that basically instantly, so that little hypothetical he gave him exposed the core. Once that was done, we established that Satrap was deranged, and apparently he thought he was already among the gods and invulnerable, which is the only reason I can think of for trying to fight a lycanthrope with just your fists. I don't know. I think maybe a wizard would have had something better at his disposal, but nevertheless, we've got a couple things to pick up here. He was looking for the trapezohedron, so maybe we'll be able to locate it.
On the floor was an ornate device for navigating across the stars.
Great. Let's get it. And what else we got?
The floor
Mosaics,
of the
huh?
observatory was decorated with the 64 signs of the zodiac. They were all here. The celestial parsnip, the cow of heaven, the knotted string, even Okjok the salesman.
I hate Okja.
Fascinating though they were, I couldn't do anything to the mosaics with my bare hands.
Very true. Hello, Golem.
The golem didn't say much. It wasn't their way.
Not yet, anyway. Let's see if we can find what he was looking for through the telescope.
The view through the telescope showed me nothing.
Let's see. Well, let's see if we can interface. We have this star map here. Let's see if we
I
can
looked at
find it
the
in the
star
mosaics.
map and back to the mosaics. The map seemed to include a constellation. All I had to do was find out which one and tell the golem to move the telescope to look at it. Well, it was a plan of sorts.
It's kind of a cool idea that they have here for the telescope. You know, you can, whatever you turn the, just the direction to shows you what you're looking for. So
The
we've got
celestial parsnip was one of the most famous constellations. By drawing a line across its length, you could find Hubaris, the hub star, which used to lie exactly over Kari Celesti at the hub of the world, until two drunken thunder gods staggered back to Dun Manifestin drunk one night and knocked it off course. As a result
Awesome.
of this incident, 3 traveling salesmen mistook Hubaris for an omen and arrived at a stable in Sirit, trying to sell their cheap perfumes and embalming oils. Life's like that.
I guess what I'm saying is Merry Christmas, everybody.
The flying moose, my birth sign. Apparently it was a rocky sign, but I didn't know why.
Boo.
I didn't
Gahuli.
know anything about Gahuli, the vase of tulips, apart from the fact that it didn't look at all like a vase. It looked more like some careless sky god had spilt something. The double-headed kangaroo was the astrological birth sign of the coward. It had that characteristic quality of most constellations in that it looked nothing like what its name suggested. What it most resembled was a ball of string, and it was hence easily confused with the knotted string, which was the birth sign of the dismally confused.
Worked out pretty well that way.
The
And
small, boring group of faint stars was the least remarkable of all the constellations.
no kidding. But as you can see, it is in fact the small, boring group of faint stars is exactly the one we
I
want.
suppose the small, boring group of faint stars might have been on the map, but if they were, they'd been drawn much brighter than they really were. Swing the telescope around to face the small, boring group of faint stars.
All right. There we go. Let's see if that shows us anything.
The stars seem to be pointing at the Selachi Mausoleum. If the map was right, the jewel was somewhere inside.
Interesting. Alright, well, let's head to the Salachi Mausoleum. There's the observatory. Quite a distance from Newhall, but nevertheless. Alright, to the mausoleum we go. Fortunately, we can see the sky from here, and that should allow us to precisely triangulate where we're going with this astrolabe.
I used the astrolabe to see exactly where Two Conquer's map pointed. They seem to be indicating a grotesque in the entrance chamber.
Alright, let's see what we got.
I don't know who thought it was tasteful to make carved statues that were part human and part mythical beast, but frankly, I thought they looked awful. I searched the grotesque carefully and concluded that it was a cover stone for something underground.
Oh, there we go.
I pushed it, opening up the crypt below. The stale air told me that this chamber hadn't been visited in hundreds of years. In the gloom, I could make out a single sarcophagus.
Interesting. Okay, so here's
The
the sarcophagus.
didn't look like any recent design. In fact, I was surprised to see one in Ankh-Morpork at all. It must have been imported from somewhere.
That's a little clue there. Here's an
On the
indentation.
sarcophagus was a circular indentation with a square peg coming out of it. I couldn't move the peg with my hands.
But a circular indentation with a square hole. Well, that sounds a lot like this coin that we have. So let's see if we can use that.
Mundy's coin fitted the indentation perfectly, and with it, I could easily turn the peg. There was a faint click, and the sarcophagus opened. Inside the sarcophagus was a suit of armor, grasping a glowing gem that could only be the radiant trapezohedron. I wasn't expecting the armor to burst into life, though.
Thanks a lot. 400 years I wait for you to come and let me out. And the first thing you do is cut my arm off.
Sorry, zombie.
It'll take ages to sew back on.
I'm sorry. I just sort of acted reflexively.
So you instinctively cut the arm off people you meet?
If they come bursting out of a coffin, yes.
It's a sarcophagus. A very nice sarcophagus. Donated to the Order by some nice people in Jelly Baby.
And you're vitally impaired.
Vitally impaired? What's that supposed to mean? Call a spade a spade. I'm a zombie. Right.
If that's the way you want it, I need that jewel.
I'm sure you do. But first, you must answer the riddle and prove your worth.
One of these,
The riddle?
Indeed. Are you ready, mortal?
not really a mortal.
This is ridiculous. I'm in a real hurry and I need that jewel.
Oh, please. I've been here for 400 years. Please let me ask the riddle.
Make it fast.
All right. What is Oh,
Oh,
bugger.
no.
I've forgotten it.
You've forgotten it?
Well, it has been 400 years.
This is so great.
You see how good your memory is after 4 centuries. Especially when you got mice.
Can I have the jewel or not?
No. I have to ask the riddle. How else am I going to know if you're a follower of the dark cults?
Look, man, I'm not.
Let me get this straight. You can tell if I'm a follower of the dark cults by whether or not I can answer a riddle.
Absolutely.
So how does that work, then? Are the forces of darkness incapable of answering riddles?
I'm sure the gods would never allow the unworthy to gain control of this.
Interesting theory. Look, I need that jewel, and you're just going to have to find a way to give it to me.
The Order decided that we'd ask a riddle to determine the worthiness of anyone petitioning for the trapezohedron. I have to ask a riddle.
Okay. Well, fair enough, I suppose.
You mentioned the Order.
Yes. The Order of the Sacred Tulip. You must have heard of us.
Let me guess. You went out on rampaging crusades across other people's nations with some spurious religious purpose, and came back having stolen a fortune from so-called inferior nations, and then started getting involved in ecclesiastical politics on the proceeds,
Those were the days, Yep. You got it in one.
And the Order buried you with the trapezohedron.
That's right.
It's a raw
They
deal.
needed a guardian. And I volunteered.
You volunteered to be buried with the jewel for hundreds of years?
I thought it'd look good on my record.
That's dedication. You gotta give him
Can't you
that.
just make a riddle up?
Well, there was one specific riddle I was supposed to be asking.
But since you can't remember it, you need a new plan. Why not just make one up?
All right. What is... No. Sorry. I can't do it. My mind's a blank. You know what it's like when you're under pressure to perform. You just can't do it.
This is the
The
worst
city
guardian.
is going to be destroyed because you don't perform well under pressure. I don't believe this.
Well, maybe there's some way to convince him.
Look, I have the golden falchion. Surely that counts for something.
Oh, I knew you had the sword, but that's no help. If you're on the side of darkness and you have the falchion, then I definitely can't give you the jewel.
How did you know I had the sword?
I saw you coming in the jewel.
Really? Did you see anything else?
Oh, I've been watching the progress of the sword since I got here.
In which case you must have seen Mundy hide the sword in the crate, and me recover it from Vault 51.
Yes, I did.
So, you saw me killed by Anu Anu.
Oh, yeah. That big dog creature. How did you survive that, by the way?
Carlotta had turned me into a werewolf.
I thought it might be something like that. They never give you the whole story with those cliffhanger endings. I remember 200 years ago when I saw someone go off the cliff in a cart. Only it turned out he actually leapt clear at the last minute. I call that cheating.
Anyway, did you see when Anu Anu summoned Nylonathotep?
Oh, I see. That's what the big cosmic horror was then.
What did you think it was?
Well, I thought it might just have been fog. The reception in here isn't very good.
If you saw all that, you must know that I'm not with the forces of darkness.
Hang on. You were there when this cosmic horror was summoned?
Yes.
Then why didn't you stop it?
I was being restrained. Come on, just give me the jewel.
No can do.
You saw me defeat Satrap, wasn't that enough? Didn't you hear what he said?
No sound with the jewel, I'm afraid.
This video,
You just get pictures.
Do you know what's most ridiculous about this? If I was with the Dark Sect, I'd just use the sword to kill you, and then just run off with the jewel.
You know, that's a very good point.
So I'll tell you what I'll do. Either give me the jewel freely, or I'll pretend I'm with the Dark Sects and I'll just take it.
You're not leaving me many options.
Jewel, please.
Here you go.
Ugh, that was pulling teeth.
Thank you. And may I say, I hope the next 400 years just fly by.
Well, thanks, zombie.
The guardian of the radiant trapezohedron had been in the crypt for centuries. That was a degree of dedication to work which I couldn't quite comprehend. After what I had to go through to get the sword, I had no intention of talking to the zombie ever again.
Yeah, fair enough. Alright, so we have the radiant trapezohedron now.
For an artifact
it.
of near unlimited power, the trapezohedron was surprisingly unimpressive. All I could see in the jewel were reflections of myself.
It's because we have the sword right now, as you heard him say. It apparently shows you pictures of the sword, so he's been able to follow our progress.
Horse!
Well, now that we have the two...
I was wondering where you had got to.
Then we have been engaged in similar pastimes.
Lewton.
Ilsa.
As you can see, I have been forced to take more drastic action. I dislike having to take such radical steps, but since the untimely demise of Mr. Alcali, I no longer have the luxury of observing events from afar.
Let her go, Horst.
Let her go, Mr. Lewton? You make it sound as if she is my prisoner. I am merely keeping her well protected against the more hostile elements of this wretched settlement.
Let her go.
That is precisely my intention, Mr. Lewton. But first, you must fulfill your agreement with me.
You want the sword.
Indeed, you agreed to bring me the sword, and I'm here to collect.
No deal, Horst. I need the sword to stop Nylonathotep.
Indeed. And what might that be, sir?
It's a creature from the dungeon dimensions, and it's loose in Ankh-Morpork.
That's
Well, there we
maybe.
go.
It still doesn't change our agreement. You promised me the sword, sir, and I am here to collect.
If I give you the sword, thousands will die.
Oh, come now. The world is full of people. What are the lives of those insignificant specks compared to our own desires? We, sir, are a breed apart from most people. We see what we want, and we take it. If a few tiny lights have to be extinguished to achieve our goals, then that is unfortunate. But it is of little consequence.
We're not talking about a few lights. We're talking about a few thousand lights. Maybe hundreds of thousands.
then we will have to learn to live in the dark.
I can't do it, Hirst.
Oh dear. I thought you were a man of your word, sir, but it seems I was mistaken. Very well. Then I am forced to take more drastic action. I don't know how much pressure it would take from my fingers to suffocate the young lady here. And I'm not entirely sure that I wouldn't apply slightly too much pressure and snap her spine. However, you have forced me to experiment.
Lewton.
All right, Hirst. You win. Let her go.
Excellent. I thought you were a man of reason, sir, and I was right. I admire a man who is not so stubborn as to throw away what he values just for his stubborn pride.
You've got what you wanted, now let her go! I took Ilsa back to my office. What other choice did I have? I felt so stupid, giving Hirst the sword and staying with Ilsa as the troll disappeared into the night's fog. But even if I'd tried to follow him, the dark magenta stench of Nylonathotep drowned out every other scent in the city. There was nothing I could do. After we'd both calmed down, I told her everything that had happened.
So Satrap was looking for Tukonka's jewel.
That jewel is known as the Radiant Trapezohedron, and I think it can save the city, but I have a nasty suspicion that we need this sword as well.
The Radiant Trapezohedron. Yes, it never occurred to me that they would be the same. The descriptions of the trapezohedron are vague at best. Satrap must have been trying to immanentize the Garunan Eschaton.
Can you try that again without sneezing?
The Garunan Eschaton is one of the many myths concerning the end of the Discworld. It's very obscure.
What's it about?
It tells how some of the entities from the dungeon dimensions have been trapped around the Discworld. Some in the lost city of Leshp, some in the heart of the Garuna Trench, some in places men don't even have names for. When the Eschaton occurs, they are supposed to be released from their captivity and destroy everything they can get their tentacles on. The usual thing.
Well, Nylonathotep is loose. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the end of everything. Maybe it's a good time to borrow lots of money.
Lewton, I heard you'd been killed. I saw your grave.
I heal quickly.
I left a letter by your graveside.
I know. I saw it.
I wrote it when I had to leave you all those years ago, but I never had the courage to send it to you. I didn't know how to tell you that I was married.
To two conquerors.
Yes, he needs me, Lewton. He always did. And in a strange way, I need him too. He gave my life meaning. I had nothing before I met him.
None of that matters anymore.
You never told me how you felt.
What's to tell? I was born when you kissed me, and I died when you left me. I lived a few weeks while you loved me. Of course, I also died when I got stabbed in the back, but you know, that wasn't nearly as painful.
I'm sorry.
I bet you never thought of me as a man who could fall in love.
I never thought about you at all. I couldn't. If I had, it would have driven me mad.
I thought about you every day, until I'd drunk enough to forget. I let my life slide till there was nothing left to live for but bitterness. Well, all that's going to change. I'm going to save this city if I have to die again to do it. And I'm not going to do it for you, or for me, or for the worthless people who live in it. I'm going to do it to prove for once and for all that I'm not the washed-up loser everyone thinks I am. And if it turns out that I am, then everything will get destroyed and no one will know about it. So hey, from where I stand, there's no downside.
What are you going to do?
First of all, we have to find Hirst.
How?
I have no idea.
Oh, sure you do, Lewton. Well, that sounds like a rallying cry if ever I heard one. He's not a washed-up loser. He's Lewton, private investigator. He is still a bitter shell of a man, of course, but we can find Hirst, and we know exactly how. The trapezohedron, as the zombie told us, tracks the location of the sword.
I peered deeply into the trapezohedron, and I could see an image of Hirst with the golden sword. It looked like he was at the Maudlin Bridge.
That is the Maudlin Bridge. So let's go after that troll.
I took a few precautions and then headed down to the Maudlin Bridge to check it out. The image in the trapezohedron turned out to be right. Hirst was at the Maudlin Bridge. And he wasn't alone.
Looks like
He and
Carlotta.
our mutual acquaintance seemed to be in some sort of dispute.
What happened to our agreement, Hirst? We were supposed to be working together.
Really, madam? Then why was it that you arranged for Monday to sell the sword to you, and you alone?
Just because I didn't trust Al-Khali as a courier didn't mean I broke the agreement.
And I suppose you're going to deny that you were involved in his death?
I couldn't stop his death, but that doesn't mean I caused it.
Doesn't it?
What about you? It was you who set Malachite after me, wasn't it?
I thought you might appreciate being reunited with your estranged brother.
You sent him after me to try and slow me down.
You are the betrayer among us, madam. Don't try and substitute me as the villain of the piece. Yes, I freed Malachite, and yes, I used him to slow down you and Mr. Lewton. But you were the one who arranged his death.
I didn't arrange his death. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And you put him there.
I'm not here to debate the details with you, Hirst.
Why are you here?
Give me the sword.
After all I've risked to get hold of it? No. As soon as my launch arrives, I will be taking the sword away from this God's forsaken city. If you want, you can have a small share of the profits. I am not ungrateful for your assistance in this endeavor, but that is all I'm prepared to offer.
Why, you miserable excuse for a troll.
Oh, come now. I could snap your neck like a twig if I wanted to, but I'm not going to, because there's nothing to be gained from doing it.
Listen, Hirst. Either give me the sword, or kill me. Because one way or another, I won't allow you to leave town with the sword.
As you wish.
I didn't think of myself as a murderer, but I wasn't about to stand by and watch Hirst try to kill Carlotta. It was over in a flash. I don't
love
even
that
know how it
animation.
happened.
He's better off dead.
Is that all you can say about him?
He was some kind of a troll. What does it matter what you say about trolls?
What now?
We have to get out of the city.
Can't we stop it?
It's too late for that. Right now, Nylonathotep is opening a portal to the dungeon dimensions above the city. When it grows large enough, everything will be destroyed.
I have the trapezohedron. Doesn't that help?
It means Nylonathotep won't be powerful enough to destroy more than just the Circle C. And if we leave now, we can get away before the worst of the destruction.
I'm not leaving the city. It's my home. It's not much of a home, but it's all I've got.
You've got me, Lewton. Come with me. I'll renounce the cult, and we can run free in the hills of Ubervold.
It's not that I don't have feelings for you, Carlotta. I do. It's just that I don't trust you. You murdered your own brother. You'd have killed me if I'd got in the way.
So what? So I'm no good. I'm no worse than anybody else. Think about it, Lewton. You, me, the wide open spaces of Ubervold. Or you can stay here and die with the rest of the rabble. Don't be a fool, Lewton. Join me.
I can't. I'm sorry, Carlotta, but there's only one way this can end.
You're turning me over to the Watch?
I'd like to be able to run away with you, turn my back on the city, and just escape it all. But face it, Carlotta, I'd be dead in a week. Thanks for coming,
that's
Nobby.
true.
Hey, what are friends for? Mrs. Carlotta von Uberwald? I'm arresting you for conspiracy, accessory to murder, attempted herbicide, and for being bloody stupid. You don't have to say anything. But if you say not guilty, we're liable to kill ourselves laughing.
Oh, you'll regret this, Lewton. Nothing's going to save you now. The only way to stop the destruction of the city would be to take the Falchion into the portal. And I hope you try.
As he left, Vimes fixed me in his eyes, as if to say that this didn't make up for what I did all those years ago. But I didn't care about that. This wasn't about the past. It was about the future. I looked down at the hulking corpse of Jasper Hirst in the river mud, and I wondered if I'd done the right thing. But life's too short for regrets, and if I didn't stop Nylonathotep soon, it would be too short for a shot of whiskey, and that wasn't any sort of life I wanted. Somehow, I had to get the Falchion into the portal before it was too late. Time was short. I had to reach that portal somehow. The question was, how?
If you ask me, that's no question at all. Anybody who's been following along ought to figure this out. First, we probably have to fit the trapezohedron.
Fitted into the pommel perfectly, but I wanted to wait until the right moment to do it.
I guess Anybody that's been following along should figure out what to do. There's only the library at the mansion. The mausoleum is closed to us. We already found the zombie there. Goodness knows nothing good's going to be going on at the Octarine Parrot. Actually, why can't you go back here? There must be some pieces of information that you could only get if you were here or something like that. Oh, maybe you never had to find the coin until now, and so you could still search Mundy's body and get it from Mankin. Anyway, he's got nothing to say to us. Foyd's still crouched in protection in Dagon Street. There's the sanctuary where we've been, but that's not anything important. Lewton's office has got nothing. Rodan's workshop has got nothing. Patrician's Palace. Cafe Ankh. That's right, we need to head up to the Patrician's Palace. We are going to need to do some serious stuff here to get this done. And in order to get into the portal, which if you'll remember Nylanathatep is creating above the city, well, we're going to need something like a flying
Leonard
machine.
and two conkers had been working on was my only chance.
That's right.
Well, it's finished. Now all we have to do is fly it.
And I'm volunteering.
Ah,
Hey.
hello again. You want to be the person in the seat that guides the device.
I'm going to have to be.
We still need somewhere long and flat to launch it from.
I'll see what I can do.
Well, as it turns out, we've seen just such a place thanks to the recent disc quake. We've got some rubble here, but once we clear that out...
It didn't take me long to get the roof clear of rubble. I hope there was no one down below when it hit the ground.
I'm sure if Ward was still around, it would have hit him then. But now we've got the perfect runway.
I've cleared the rubble off the roof. Can we launch this from there?
It might just work.
Give me a hand moving it out there and we'll see what happens.
Alright. Looks like we are almost ready. In fact, I can't think of too much else that needs to be done. We've got the amulet. We've got the flapping wings flying device.
I suppose I could inscribe an Elver sign on the device, but I wasn't that superstitious.
Yeah,
The
it was just an
device was
idea.
ready to fly. All I had to do was pluck up enough courage to do it.
Alright. Well, let's see if we can fit
The
this in now.
trapezohedron.
Oh, not quite just yet. Alright, we gotta go. And when you gotta go, you gotta go. And we are flying this thing right into the tentacled bowels of Nylanathatep. Everything is
Seconds
working
before I
out
could
perfectly.
launch, Ilsa came flying down the rooftop.
Wait!
What are you doing here? How did you find me?
Lewton, you can see this device from halfway across the city. All you have to do is look up.
Why did you stop me?
You're going to try and stop Nylanathatep in this?
It's all I've got. Carlotta said if I took the sword into the portal, I could stop it.
You can't go up against a creature from the dungeon dimensions without some sort of protection.
Protection? Like what?
I don't know, but you need something.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Well, we need to figure out something, as she said. I think that's going to be... Yeah, see, that's what I was trying to do before. The Elver sign. We're not exactly superstitious, but this is pretty important. Thank goodness we looked up the exact order of how to do this earlier. We'd be double
the
pooched.
eel on the side of the flapping wing flying device. I hoped it was enough protection. I was going to need all the help I could get.
Alright. Now we've got a cultist-proof flapping wings flying device. Pretty sure they still won't let us put it in. I guess it's just not letting me click at all. Alright, fine.
I had a...
Right. So now, there's really nothing left to do. Let's mount our contraption, the flapping
This is
wings
it,
flying
Elsa.
device,
I have my
and
protection.
save
Wish
the
me
city.
luck.
This is crazy, Lewton. It's suicide.
I know, but I have to do it. I'm the only one who can. Now, wish
true.
me luck.
Godspeed, Lewton. You're some kind of bizarre, bitter anti-hero, but you've just the skill set and the gumption to save the city. Alright, it seems to be working alright, as Leonard's inventions do. There's Big Wiggly. Oh man.
I slung the trapezohedron into the sword and steered the flying machine towards the portal, pedaling as fast as my tired little legs could manage. I kept flying
final
upwards,
challenge.
the sky full of flame and thunder.
Yeah! Very good.
It was a
That's
million
that.
to one chance that I could land it safely. But on the Discworld, 1,000,000 to 1 chances happen 9 times out of 10.
Nice landing, Lewton.
Who do you think you are? My
Thanks,
guardian
Gaspard.
angel?
I lost my wings a long time ago.
I can see I'm going to have to get used to finding you where I least expect.
Yeah, sounds about right.
My original launch had attracted a lot of attention. I'd saved the city, but that didn't change things with Remora. If I didn't get out of the city, there was no telling what he'd do to me. Two Conkers, get the flapping wing flying device ready. It's going on another flight.
Oh, as you are wishing.
Where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere, but you are. The Assassin's Guild still has a contract out on your husband's head, and they won't stop until he's dead.
Let him go. I'll stay here with you.
I can't offer you much of a life, but he can.
I love you, Lewton.
Yeah, I know. But love isn't always enough. If you don't get on that flying machine, you'll regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon, and for the rest of your life. Which won't be very long if the Assassin's Guild catches you.
What about us?
We'll always have the Hotel Pseudopolis. We didn't for a while. We lost it.
Noir
But we
references.
got it back. And no one can take that away from us. Here's looking at you, Ilsa.
And off they go. The two assassin-chased lovers. Off into the distance.
Well, it's over. I don't know. It doesn't make much sense to me.
You really loved her, didn't you? Well, don't ask me either. I mean, I'm a species that thinks someone's leg is an object of desire.
Thanks, Gaspard. You know, this could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Don't push
Very
your luck,
good.
sonny boy.
Well, that was an extremely satisfying ending to me. I hope you all liked it as much as I did. I'm a big fan of this. It, you know, sort of slows down towards the end, like I said, when you can see they start animating things in a little different way, and the plot ends sort of all at once. But overall, I think it's got very good, complex characters. It's got a heck of a hero. I really wish we could see more of Lewton, that he would show up in some other pieces of fiction, although I think that's fairly unlikely given the state of Discworld these days. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. And I hope you tune in for the next Let's Play that I plan on doing pretty soon here. So, thanks for following along with me. Thanks for contributing. I hope this maybe influenced you to watch some more Noir, because it is seriously great stuff. So I will see you guys next time. And until then, you know, keep your eyes open and your ears out, because you never know what's around the next corner. And if you need any help, you know where to find Lewton. Just whistle with a dog whistle, or some kind of high-pitched thing that only wolves and dogs can hear, because, you know, he hears those. Alright, good night everybody, and thanks. you're still watching. The little end clue that you get, the next LP is going to have something to do with Noir, murder, and wolves. I'm very excited about it. I hope you will be too. See you guys then. Far too much interference from me, Vector.